Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about 10 spring 2025 fashion trends that you're about to see everywhere because these are going to be huge. And some of them you might like, some of them you might not like. And as always, only wear the trends that you love and you resonate with. If you don't like them, skip over those. But I feel like this is actually gonna be a really interesting season for trends, and I'll explain a little bit more what I mean in a minute, and let's get started. Let's start off with a couple of trends that, to be honest, started in 2024, but when I saw them, I was like, I don't know if that's going to really, keep going and really just keep moving in the trend world, and they're here, and they're the trends. You're actually going to see them now in a store near you. So the first one is bubble skirts. When bubble skirts first started coming up on the scene, of course they all come in like really high fashion versions of them, but I couldn't really see that necessarily working for, myself, I guess. But now we've seen lots of bubble skirts and bubble dresses and just bubble hemlines that I actually think are very wearable. So Urban Revivo has a really cute mini skirt. It's got a bubble hem. This actually might be a really fun trend. I don't know if I personally will be wearing it. It just really would depend, but I do think this is kind of a fun one for spring. Another trend we saw start last year in 2024, but I really think you are going to see this everywhere in spring 2025, and it's the cropped button-up shirt. I think we're gonna see these paired a lot with high-waisted bottoms and just left out and untucked. I actually really like this, although I was not into it when it first came around, but I found myself really interested in clothes that are basically classics with a twist, or a basic, but an elevated basic. And so this falls into that category. So I actually really like this one. I actually just ordered a black cropped button-up shirt, and I will show you what it looks like. I will link it below, it's still available, but I kind of like this one. You'll have to let me know what you think. So last year we saw basic tees, basic tank tops be a huge trend for spring. And I remember saying on the spring videos last year that like basically every clothing brand, clothing company, whether they used to make basics or not, they were making basics now because it was just such a huge trend. And so that's continuing into spring 2025. I'm sure it'll continue well into summer, well into next year as well. And I love this. I do think you are gonna see a lot of basics with a twist, maybe basics in some different fabrics. Maybe they won't be just white t-shirts or black t-shirts. They might have some metallic shimmery things on them or something like that, but you're definitely gonna see a lot of basic tees, basic tanks worn with all kinds of bottoms this year in spring 2025. Gone are the days where you would only find the spaghetti strap tank tops that did basically nothing in the way of support or making us feel good. And now we have well-constructed basics that look and feel good and actually last for a long time. I was very into the tank top and pleated shorts or pleated linen pants look last year, and I will be wearing that a lot this year. Now, if you're like me and you love this tank top with a tailored trouser look, but you hate trying to figure out the bra to go with the tanks, and I know you do, because last year y'all were like, which bra are you wearing with these tank tops, because mine stick out and they just don't work. I have a solution for you, and I'm so excited to share with you the sponsor of this video, which is the Classy Network, and they make this top and make tank tops with built-in bras. I'm not wearing a bra right now, but I am wearing, it has support in here for it feels like I am. It feels like I am, but I'm not. So these are actually different from most bra tops you've probably tried before, because these tops are customizable with size-inclusive padding, optimized support, and seamless designs that provide shape and support. I gotta be honest, ever since discovering that this exists, I have actually decluttered many of my tank tops, because it's just hard to go back to a tank top where I have to put on a bra and then clip it in the back or do something that's not quite as comfortable when I know that these are here and these exist. So I'm actually showing you the tank tops and the strapless tops like I'm wearing right here, but they also have crop tops, they have dresses, they have full length tops, they have a lot of different styles to choose from, and the cups inside are customizable. So if you're larger, you can select a larger cup size. If you're smaller, a smaller one. It's such a great concept. When I went on my cruise recently, I didn't want to be sweaty and deal with a bra, and this tank top from the Classy Network was perfect. They have several different styles to choose from, and I do have a discount code for you. You can get 20% off by either scanning the QR code or using my link down in the description box below. And if you are a tank top person, I mean, these are just like the best thing since sliced bread. So anyway, make sure to check them out below if this is something that's right up your alley, and let's continue. This next trend is one I actually think a lot of you guys are going to love, and I think I'm into it as well. on certain pieces, but the very graceful, heavily draped, very feminine tops are very much on trend for spring. And I actually think this is one that it doesn't, I mean, depending on what it is, it's kind of one of those things that's just very classic looking. And I think these can be very beautiful, especially if you have a formal event coming up. These don't have to be formal, but I do think that these can be a more like formal looking, beautiful top and like a silky fabric. I recently found a top that I feel like falls into this genre. I was shopping with a friend. I'm a size small and she was a size large, and we both looked good in the top, and it was just so cute. I will link it below if it's still available, but I do think this can be a very beautiful look if it's a nicely well-made draped top or dress. So I feel like this is going to be a really good one for spring and just a really wearable spring trend. So there is lots of buzz about the boho look coming back for 2025, especially for spring 2025. On the fashion show runways, Chloe had lots of boho kind of dresses and tops and styles, and I think this is really going to be very big for spring and summer. We're gonna see lots of ruffles, very feminine. It kind of flows into that last trend I was talking about, but just very feminine dresses, feminine tops. Mango has already come out with a lot of dresses and tops that fall into this category. And so I really think this is going to be a huge trend for spring. If you've really been into the suede trend that's happening for 2025, I think this is where you can throw in a suede bag. This is definitely one that you could probably find secondhand. You could find vintage. You might be able to just pull it out of your closet from the last time it was really big, which was actually kind of a long time ago, but you might still have some pieces in this trend. So I think this is really pretty. This kind of trend is not my personal style most of the time, but I do like it. I like it on other people, and there's certain pieces in it that I'll end up, you know, usually gravitating towards, but you'll have to let me know if you like this style. Because here's the thing, the last few years it's been all about suiting and tailoring and, you know, structured pieces, and it's still very much a thing that's here in the fashion world, but this is a nice departure from that if that wasn't your style or if you were getting tired of that. So this will be a fun one for spring, in my opinion. For spring, and this is not groundbreaking, but we're gonna see pastels everywhere. Pastels are usually big for spring, but even when they're not big for spring, they never really look out of style. Like pastels and spring kind of just go hand in hand. But we are seeing lots of pastel dresses and pastel pieces and pastel everything in the fashion runways and coming in for spring 2025. And within the pastels, you're definitely going to see that powder pink, which I talked about in this video, but really just pastels of any color. The mint green, the powder blue, lilac. You're really going to see a lot of these colors this spring 2025. For this spring, I think it's interesting that both classic stripes and the classic polka dot seem to be having a moment for this spring. So the very classic stripe, the one that just never really looks out of style even when it's not trending, that is definitely on trend, if that makes any sense. But the very classic stripe, definitely here to stay. It's been on trend for a while. It's very much here for the spring and summer, but maybe it'll be put in some more interesting looking styles. Like maybe it won't just be the button down, but maybe it'll be in a cropped button down or just some other interesting style, but have that classic stripe. And then with polka dots, we are seeing a lot of the black and white polka dots, the very classic looking polka dot, but then we might see some red and white polka dots or some blue and white polka dots, but the very classic polka dot is what is on trend for 2025. Now, oddly enough, I have not seen very many florals on trend for spring 2025, which is kind of groundbreaking because every spring there's some kind of floral that's the big floral. So I will say the rose floral that was really big in 2024, that is still on trend, although it's not new anymore. It's kind of everywhere right now. And there's really not like a new floral on the scene for spring 2025. What we are seeing in the floral department are either just very small, delicate florals, or we're seeing very neutral florals, like maybe two-tone florals, as opposed to just big, bright, super colorful florals. A little more subtle, a little bit more pared back. Now, as we get more into spring, it will be interesting to see what florals just kind of pop up and what people come up with. And I'm always interested to know what I will start gravitating towards. Sometimes I start off a season and I'm like, I would never wear that. And then as we get more into the season, I see something and I'm like, I love that. And it's a thing that I said I would never wear. So I'm always curious what future Anna is going to like. She keeps it interesting, you know? This next one is not new. It's not new, and I wanna say every spring and definitely summer, this is a trend in some capacity, but I want to mention it here because I just really think this is going to be huge as soon as the weather turns warm, and that's crochet. But mainly crochet dresses, crochet tops, crochet pants, but I think mainly crochet dresses. Crochet dresses, you are going to have a very easy time finding a crochet dress, whether it be for a cover up or an actual dress, which I'll show you a picture. I have one I wore on a cruise recently, which I loved. I really love this dress, and I don't know where else I'll wear it to except for that cruise or some kind of resort vacation kind of thing, but love that. And I really love this trend, if you can't tell. And some years I very much dislike the crochet that's so trending. I think it was the crochet last year, the more like quilted looking crochet. I was not into that. There was like a couple pieces I liked, but for the most part I was not really into that. But I love the beautiful neutral crochet dresses, crochet cover-ups. I love this. I think this is gonna be really easy to wear, a really fun trend for this spring and into summer. This will not be the last that you hear of crochet and crochet dresses from me, for sure, but I love this one. So those are the 10 spring trends I think are really gonna be huge for this spring 2025. I will, of course, do more spring trends videos because why not? They're fun to talk about. And actually, spring is my favorite season. I love fall. Love it, and I love it for everybody else, but spring is my favorite season. I love the colors. I just love the sunshine. I love it all. So there will be more spring videos, but if you missed my 2025 trends, the ones that are just gonna be big for like the whole year of 2025, go back and watch that because there's a couple trends in there that are also big for spring. I'll let it be a surprise. And I wanted to talk about in this video, but I didn't wanna repeat myself. So go back and watch that one if you missed it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if there's any trends in here that you are looking forward to seeing or wearing or bringing back out or what have you. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure to check out Classy Network in the description box below, and I will see you next time.